Okay, so we're going to do a quick demo of what the current technology for mixed initiative orchestration technologies does. We're going to start by creating two orchestration scripts, one for undergraduates and one for graduate students. So for the undergraduates, we want to detect when they're overworking and prevent them from doing so. So we'll name the script overworking for undergraduates. And the goal of this script is to prevent undergrads from going over points. The condition we're going to use is if we find that the number of hours that an undergrad has spent is more than 20% what their total available points are, then we want to trigger the script. And when the script triggers, we're going to provide them with the following actionable feedback to go and reflect on what they did this sprint, what went well, and what pushed them over points. The outlet for this is going to be the student, and then if it goes unaddressed, then it'll be escalated to the SIG head. And we're only going to run these on undergrad projects, so that would include Libero, Lake, and the Collective Experience API. So from that, we'll create a script, and that is successfully saved. And now we're going to create another one for graduate students. So similarly, it'll be overworking for graduate students. For graduate students, it's going to be about if graduate students go way over time, because generally graduate students are a little bit more flexible. And so we'll say that if they spend more than 50% of their available points. And the message we're going to have here is not actually going to be directed at the graduate students. We'll have this sent to the mentor instead. And so one thing that's kind of neat that we can do is by putting the student in brackets, the orchestration engine will automatically replace this with the student who's who has triggered this condition. And so the escalation should be meeting with faculty if that doesn't work out, and we're only going to do these for the graduate student projects. So these three. So we'll create that script. And now both these scripts are created, and they're currently looking at this data over here. And so I have the sprint log for Lake, which has Andrew and Meg as students on it. And then I have my sprint log for orchestration technologies here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the sprint log here and have some tasks completed. So let's say that it took Andrew 4 points to finish the study design, another 5 to do the pilot, and another 2.5 to finish the prototypes and links. So he's still under points, but then when he comes and does the study, so he recruits users, that only took 1, but then the study itself took 10 points like he expected. And so what we will see is that Andrew will get a message saying that he is quite a bit over points and that he should reflect about what took him time. In this case, what actually happened is because he was conducting a user study, and there really wasn't another way to do it, he and his mentor might decide that this was an okay time to go over points because he needed to conduct a user study so that he could write a paper later on. And so now we'll do it similarly for myself. And so what we should see is that when I go over points, when I go 50% over, so hit 60 points over here, that Haoqi will get a message saying that he should check in with me about why I spent so many points. And so what I'll say is that I was working on this orchestration prototype, and I got that done. And the first part took me only 1 point to do, but then the second part took me a lot more than I thought it would take, and so I actually spent 3 points on that. And this should be enough right now to see that Haoqi gets a message saying that I have gone way over points and that he should check in with me about how to slice better. The other thing that would happen here is that maybe I need to think about how to better allocate points because I way under allocated points for this task that I had.